Welcome back to another video. This is going to be unbelievable, straight value. We're going to get right to the point. I don't want to waste you guys' time. Today, you read the title, you see it on the screen. We're going to be talking about how to turn nothing into something. Something I think a lot of us can relate to, a place I know I've been at many times in my life, where I'm at that starting place where I maybe have the idea of what I want to get done. I have the vision of where I want to go, but I haven't really applied that and started to take action on that. So let's dive right in. I don't want to waste any more time. Let's get it. So first off, I want to give you guys some social proof. If this is your first time checking out any of my channel, my name is Arius Williams. I'm a men's coach. I help men break bad habits and get to their best self in 90 days or less. If you want to know more about that, you can follow me on Instagram and DM me for more information, or you can go check out all my other videos here below. But nonetheless, I started with absolutely nothing. Just a regular kid from Niles, Michigan, a smallish town about 15 minutes away from South Bend, home of Notre Dame, Fighting Irish. We don't like them though, go blue. And I grew up from not, I wouldn't say necessarily struggling or in poor, but we didn't really have the excess, right? I had a roof, I had clothes, and food, never had to worry about that. But we didn't never necessarily have that extravagant life and all the extra things. So that kind of started me off with a lack mindset, a mindset of some things are for rich people, some things I'll never have. Oh, it must be nice. The poor me type of mindset, right? And through kind of, if you guys haven't seen my story, you can definitely check out the video. And through my journey as an entrepreneur, something that popped up a lot of the times was a vision board. Okay, and I had another video on this as well, but I had been told many times that you need a vision board in order to be successful, and you need to actually have it. So I was just talking with a client about this, but I actually created my very first vision board was in my house around 2016, 2017 area. I remember it said Williams Vision Board in these rainbow lettered font, and it only had one thing on this cork board. And I had printed out a picture of a dream of my, like at the time, dream Mac desktop computer. I really wanted this to keep pursuing music. Video editing at the time was my passion, and at the time it seemed like impossible. I didn't know these computers. The one I wanted was running around $2,300, and I didn't foresee a way for me to afford it. But nonetheless, I put that first vision board up, and I put that picture of the Mac, and I stared at that, and that was the only thing that ever made it onto that board. And I stared at it for over a year, but almost to the point where we had moved houses and I forgot about it. However, at that next house the following year, I was able, through some wonderful circumstances, to be able to purchase that Dream Mac. And it was so, what's crazy is the first vision board I ever made only had one item on it, and I got it. So more on that in a little bit. But then also, examples of turning something into nothing is how I opened my first brick and mortar location back in Kokomo in the summer of 2019. And I just kind of want to talk a little bit more about how it started, but really, because I said I wanted to. Now, I know somebody's about to roll their eyes and troll me in the comments talking about this, but the truth of the matter is, not a lot changed from me who was about to open up the brick and mortar location and the person who did, other than the intention to open up this location. To give you guys some backstory, we were at an event, and this is back in my previous nutrition business, where we were getting at this event where there were speakers and people were talking about kind of just taking action. And I remember looking at my wife and saying, we're going to open up a club, a smoothie shop. We're going to do it. And I remember I had such a strong level of conviction when I said it that it was almost like it came from a different place. But it was like I knew that this would happen. And at the time, right, just to let you guys know, it does cost around $20,000 to open up one of these locations and get it going, and probably more now. And I did not have $20,000 whatsoever. So then the pessimist, or maybe this is you that's thinking this way, like, how did I do it then? Right? Like, how was I actually able to open up the smoothie shop? Well, there's a lot of hows, a lot of different reasons that happened that ultimately led me being able to piece together. But at the end of the day, my intention started to have me being creative thinking. I ended up being one of the first people to pitch somebody on the idea of an investor for one of these locations, which was unheard of at the time, and that didn't even work out. And I had gotten all excited. I found this is my way to open up my shop, and then it fell through the cracks. But I didn't give up because I knew that I was going to open up this shop. And another important tidbit or golden nugget is, in order to accurately manifest this shop into my life, me and my wife one day were sitting down, and this is kind of at the end, we had raised most of the money, which came from a place that I never thought it would come from. I ended up asking a family member that I didn't think would ever say yes to that, and it turns out that they were able to do that and help us get there, and that was a super huge blessing for our end. But until I had sold this business to that family member or had done the research and had been practicing pitching for months, they would have never even thought to ask me, and I would have never thought to ask them. So again, the intention is where this all began. Me saying we're going to open it up is where the true power of being able to get to the shop opening started. But then at the end, there was this small, I would say, let's say $3,000 that we needed to open, and that it wasn't in the budget. We had overspent on other items, and we were down to the wire. We already put so much money into this place. We just needed this last $3,000 to get the shop open, and it was super stressful. And I remember me and my wife one day laying down in our bed, and we held our hands, and we started to envision and take turns naming all of the different people that we didn't know yet that would eventually be customers into, at that time, not a real shop, and their backstory. We started to imagine, hey, we are going to have a single mom that's going to come in here and lose a bunch of weight. We are going to have a teenager who gets their first job here, and then they learn a lot of stuff. We're going to have so. And we started to envision not the money that we would make from this place, but the people in the lives we would change from the product we were eventually going to bring into this world, right? That was what we focused on, and we put our hearts into it. We sat there and envisioned what these people, these mystery people, would look like, right? And because we did that, it's so weird how this stuff happens. Later, 2 years after opening, we were able to look back, and almost every single avatar person that we proclaimed out loud, we did in fact end up meeting as customers. A lot of them are our friends today. So it's super crazy. So if you're in a place where you have this big goal that you want to do, maybe you want to start a business, maybe you want to leave that career you're in and get into one that's more fulfilling, maybe you want to start a new hobby or connect with your family better, maybe you want to stop working so much, and maybe you want to drop a bad habit like alcoholism or nicotine addiction, whatever the case is, right? But we're going to focus on, something that costs money that you don't currently have to get to. I need you to start with creating that vision. So we're going to get right into some practical tips on how to start. Okay, number one, if you're starting a business, you're going to need money. And I'll explain more what you need the money on the next slide for. But we're going to need to get up our freedom fund, our initial investment into ourselves. Okay, so in order to do that, if you already don't have extra money to spend, you're not already doing good ahead on finances, then we're going to look around the house for any valuable item that we do not necessarily need or that we're willing to sacrifice, and we're going to try to sell those things for any type of startup cash. We're going to cut back on some type and really take a look at our spending and sacrifice what kind of things where is the money leaking? Because a lot of the times when people talk about investing into themselves, they say, I don't have the money, but they don't realize where they're spending the money in silly ways, right? If you get a energy drink of any kind every single day, that's about $3.50, depending on where you live, every day. That's going to add up to almost a grand total of over $100 each month you're spending on just that one energy drink. Probably that isn't really giving you energy, and it's just masking the feelings of a poor nutritional diet and all that type of stuff. But if you were able to have an opportunity that was going to cost you, $100 or $300, you're going to need that $100 you're spending on the energy drink. You sacrifice that, you save it up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, and boom, our freedom fund is created. And the only way to actually do either of those two is to creating that absolutely crystal clear vision on why you're doing this. You need to understand who is the person in the future that's going to benefit from all of these actions you're taking right now. Okay, when I was, like we said, when we were trying to open up our brick and mortar location, we were envisioning the people that we would not even know with as much detail as you can imagine somebody without meeting them. Right? We were giving these people's backstories and lives, and they didn't know who exactly it was going to be, but the vision that we had allowed the universe to get out of our way long enough for things to align us to find the money. Right? And then asking for it, right? In my situation, I did not know that the family member who did loan us the money was able of doing that. It's not something we talk about. And I'm not saying that you should just go hit up your family first for every dollar you can, especially if you're somebody who does not yet have the skills to actually create something out of this money you're getting, or you have no idea where you want to go, or you have none of that, then no, you're not going to want to do this. But this is for those people who know, like we were in, we knew the opportunity, we knew what we needed, we were just a little bit on the funding. This is where an option where maybe getting uncomfortable and pitching the idea around to friends and family and loved ones, you may be able to find the financing to get it done from there. And then creative financing, figuring out what type of things can you do. Can we do fundraisers? Can we start to work on affiliate marketing of some sorts to start to raise capital, right? There's all sorts of ways to make money. Can we sell things out of our garage? Can we start door dashing once a week just for this one purpose, right? Whatever it is. Once you have that vision, once you have the reason, the how becomes almost automatic, right? You'll figure it out. I don't know everybody's how. Nobody knows the how. And if somebody's selling you that they know 100% the how, that is not true. Okay, it's different for everyone. But the why can carry us through all of that, right? And once you have the Freedom Fund, here's what I want you to do. You're going to invest 100% of this into personal learning or development of skills. You're not going to spend this. I'm not saying there's a way for you to save $1,000, save even $10,000, and invest that into something that's going to automatically make you a millionaire. It's just not realistic. The chances that you put $10,000 into anything and immediately print out $1 million is very low. However, if we put 100, 1,000, whatever into ourselves and our personal growth, learning skills that will make us money, then we're now getting an ROI that's uncapped. A decade ago, honestly, at this point, I taught myself how to edit videos. This one skill has made me well over $20,000 as I've made in other videos. Right? In my nutrition business, I learned how to sell. I learned how to speak on stage. I learned how to mentor people. I learned how to coach. I learned all of this, right? And these are skills that to this day I transferred over into my own business to actually make me money. So there are a lot of skills that are going to cost you to learn. Real estate, trades, business, mentorship. But if you spend $1,000 today, and the skills you learn from that $1,000 end up paying you $2,000 every single month for the rest of your life, that's called printing money. And when you have this correct mindset of, I need to get this Freedom Fund in order so I can start to invest in myself, so I can start to get myself around the right type of people, around people with a winning mindset, around people who are focused on not just going through the motions, not just let me get to the weekend and party and spend all my money on stupid stuff that never ends up bringing me any farther out of this rat race, and I just continuously live in this cycle. Right? Let me get with people who are so far away from that, it's crazy. Let me get with some people who are focused on building the better future, right? And this is what you need to spend that original Freedom Fund on. You're going to want to put yourself in the right situation, put yourself in a group of leaders, and you will absolutely change your life if you continue to take advice and apply it. You learn and apply, learn and apply, learn and apply. Okay? And for a select group of you that you want to join that exact group, we're starting a men's group. It starts at the time of this recording on Wednesday, January 10th. This is going to be the men's diamond group. This is all men. We're going to women, ladies. I'm sorry if I can't get you in here, but I want to focus on the guys on this one. This is going to be a group where we meet once a week on Zoom together where we go over the similar topics. We're going over each other's wins, losses. We're going over exactly what people are doing to win that week and to break their habits. We're going to be bringing in guest speakers who are successful. And as this thing grows, I'd like to even have some retreats where a bunch of us get together and connect with our brotherhood. So if that's you and this resonates with you and you want to get into that, I want you to book a call below or follow me on Instagram, and we'll get you into the group. Super, super low cost. And I can't wait. So thank you guys for watching yet another video. And understand something. If you're at the nothing page, if you're ready to actually turn it into something, all you have to do is believe. That's step one, but you need to believe better than everybody else around you. All right, guys. Thank you. Have the best day.